they had to teach me how to do a bong rip. Like, I'm like, hey, how do you use this thing? And it was like, all right, whatever. I'm like, no, I want to make it look like he smokes weed. How do you use this thing? And the prop people had to come over and be like, okay, this is how you do it. If you ever need another lesson, you know, after hours, we're good.
Welcome to the Peacemaker podcast with James Gunn. I'm James Gunn, and today I'm here with the beautiful, stunning Steve Agee.
Thank you.
And the wonderful and comedic Jennifer Holland.
Thank you, James.
You're welcome. This is the place where we are going to go deeper on every episode of Peacemaker. You're going to get to know everything you need to know about the show.
We are talking season 2, episode 1, entitled The Ties That Grind. And it is directed by the handsome James Gunn. And in addition to that, we are joined today by two of the new actors playing two new characters in season 2. We've got Frank Grillo, who plays Rick Flag Sr.
The adorable Frank Grillo.
The adorable Frank Grillo. And we have Sol Rodriguez, my good friend, who I've become very close with and I love, who plays Sasha Bordeaux. Yes.
Also, spoiler warning, we're obviously going to be talking spoilers in this episode, so if you haven't already watched it, go to HBO Max and watch it now.
Yeah, episode 201, which is episode 1 of season 2. We call it 201. And these are two new cast members we have this season.
Yes.
And this is the God's honest truth. My favorite thing I do is Peacemaker, because there are no rules. We can do whatever the fuck we want, you know. And also, I'm working with, you know, one of my best friends, you know, my wife, you know, another best friend is John Cena, and then these guys. I've known Frank for a little while. Saul was a little bit newer to us, but how did you guys come to be a part of this show? You can tell people.
So I came to be a part of Peacemaker because I auditioned for the engineer for James.
Who's a character in Superman, which you should know because you should have seen Superman by now.
Oh, yeah.
But she auditioned for the character of a very good friend of hers.
Yes, that Gabby ended up getting. I've known her for over a decade. And so, so I didn't get engineer. I was devastated. But I recovered, and then I get a great call saying that they wanted to see me for Peacemaker.
Yeah, because you were good. I actually, when I was writing the role, I'm like, she was really good. She would be really good for this character. So I thought of it like early on, and then requested that you come in and read for it.
That's great. That's great for actors to hear. People, it's great.
I
don't hear that ever.
All the time. I'll have actors that come in and read for one role. And they do a good job, but they aren't exactly right for that role. There's something a little bit off about them, you know.
Is that why I didn't get Peacemaker?
No, that was because your audition sucked. And so I remember them, and then I write things, and I like people, and we also did in-person auditions for that, which is rare these days. So I got to see their personalities in person, see who's kind of easier and who's not.
That's great.
Warmer and not, and so it was perfect.
It worked out for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, very happy.
Okay, and then you.
Oh, me. So Creature Commandos, man.
Yeah, but we've known. I told you a while ago.
A long time ago, he said, be prepared for a phone call. And, it's Hollywood, so you never know when a phone call will come or if it's going to come. And sure as anything, I got the call for Creature Commandos, got the scripts, and we were off to the races, and we had a ball doing Creature Commandos, and it's been a great success. And then James said to me, this is going to continue on in this world and in Peacemaker, and then in Superman. And he's a man of his word.
Yeah.
He is a man of his word. And so here we are, and it's just been fantastic. And I've gotten to meet everybody and have a great time. And I look forward to doing, more of this stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is really fun.
It's one of the great things about the DC was having all these different people interact. There were a few days there on set at Trilith where we had both the cast and crews of Superman, the cast and crews of Peacemaker going at the same time.
Yeah.
And everybody's interacting, and it was like
Nick.
By the way, when we came to visit you, Tim and I, and you're like, do you guys want to meet Superman? And Tim and I were like, yeah. And we turned around and it's David in Superman gear, and Tim and I couldn't fucking talk. Like,
I had the same.
it was Superman.
I had the same reaction.
He's too beautiful.
Well, and also Superman for me.
He's like Superman.
You know, that was the superhero when I was a kid. Was Superman?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
And
course.
so James brought me to meet him, and I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Same thing. He kind of stepped out of the darkness, and I was like, "Oh my!" I said,
Yeah.
"Wow, you were born to be Superman."
Yeah.
And
And,
he's truly like, he's 6'4" or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, and
you
it's
know,
ridiculous.
And he looks he
Yeah.
looks like he's walked off of the pages of.
But he had
Superman.
some. I don't know if when you met him, he had a certain aura about him
Yeah.
that I imagined Superman would have, and I was like, "This is perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect." And I've seen him since in other things, and I said to James, "This kid is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a really great actor." So I'm excited to see.
We
him.
walked off the stage, and as soon as we got outside, Tim and I grabbed each other and we're like, I felt like I actually just met Superman. I couldn't talk. Could you talk? He's like, no, I couldn't talk.
Yeah. He is a lot like that. And when kids meet him, they're meeting Superman. It's
That's
like
amazing.
it's crazy. I've got
That's
so
amazing.
many pictures of him with kids because every kid that comes to set, he's very friendly and like, you know.
Yeah.
So it's great. Well, anyway, back to Peacemaker. That's
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
What matters is Peacemaker. What matters is Rick Flag. And you've had like one of the interesting things about Flag is we kind of are seeing a character really sort of develop and change a little bit over time. you
Yeah,
know?
and evolve. And
Evolve.
And it's been fun for me because, you know, as a father of 3 sons and having, you know, in the show, having lost my son and to him, you know, the revenge aspect of it has been fun, not to play revenge, but to have that as the genesis of why I'm existing even still. Do you know what I mean? It's been really interesting. And there has been a, you know, even the way Flag looks, you know, is transformative. And as
He dyed his hair.
Because he didn't want to be in there with white hair. He wanted to seem
very
younger.
vain.
He wanted to seem younger. He's extremely vain.
Frank's hair in Creature Commandos is a poofy, like, white hairdo.
It's great. It's like yours, a little bit longer, and that's what I wanted to do.
But then you got put on another TV show, and so you couldn't make your hair white. And that's all that it is.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. And guys, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and it's only hair. And people are getting angry with me like it was a choice.
Oh, I get questions every day. You said it was all going to be connected.
An orgy. What? Group sex.
No, I heard you. Jesus, what is it with this cat?
Christopher Smith is notoriously free-spirited.
So the orgy was, you know, it was a great day on set. I didn't tell you what you were going to see when you walked up there.
Really?
And it wasn't on the page.
Well, it says he's
says
having
an orgy.
a party
Right.
with
Right.
naked people.
Right.
You
Well,
see
you
that
just
in
expect
shows
that.
before.
It says orgy.
Yeah.
It does say orgy.
I mean,
But you don't
Yeah, but-
think
No,
you're going
I'm-
to see
no.
what we just saw.
On set, a few times on set, I'd go, we can say this? And now I feel dumb realizing what we can see, never mind say.
What we just
What we just saw.
Yes.
Oh, guys,
that is.
I wish that you could have seen
The
Frank
reaction.
Grillo's reaction to watching episode 1 of season 2. It
He was particularly fond of dancing naked penis man. He was, well, the one thing I want to say is it's probably not the best episode for young kids to be seeing coming off of Superman.
No.
Actually, I think this is the one that's the filthiest of the episodes.
I mean, it can't be filthier than this, right?
Listen, I don't know.
I was so scared when he said, right?
I was watching 1923 last night, you know.
Is that dirty?
Yeah, it's filthy.
Really?
Well, I mean, it's a woman who's like in a, you know, what do you call the things that you put people in when you...
I have
The
no
stockade.
idea.
The stockade, like on
right.
Timothy Dalton's bed as the girl is, this is filthy. This may be too much. But the woman behind is finger fucking her, and then she's beating her, and she's doing it again, and she's beating her as, you know, Timothy Dalton is egging her on so that she is feeling pleasure and pain at the same time, trying to train her into one of his little puppets because he's a really bad guy on the show. Talking more about 19. But I'm like, wow. I mean, and that's like an all-American. Like, people come to Peacemaker for the most part, and they know that Peacemaker is an extreme show.
Yeah.
Peacemaker is a place where the DCU can do anything. He's not, Green Lantern. He's not Superman. He's a foul-mouthed, thug, lug.
Orgy-loving.
Orgy-loving lug. So we had something.
This show is all about consent.
Yes.
Just so
Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So we had an intimacy coordinator by the name of Jessica Aaron Bennett, and I'm giving her a shout out because she did a great job. We had to audition. I don't know if we auditioned, but we had to have all these people come in and get people that were basically special talent extras, to do all the naked stuff.
Yeah.
We were very, very careful with everybody. You're doing all the nude scenes and it's all crazy, and then we call cut. And instantly everybody comes in and puts their robe on and stuff.
Right.
And then it takes time, and then you got to go back and do it
so
again.
they don't continue on having a good time and then...
Frank!
I don't know.
It's not the Grillo residence.
I don't know the Grillo residence. I'm the most conservative...
They're actors.
Old Italian fella you've ever met.
So, but it was great because I'm like, I love intimacy coordinators because number one, they make sure everybody's really comfortable.
Yeah.
But number two, just as importantly, is that creatively they really help. I started out. My first ever job was on a movie called Romeo and Juliet. One of my first ever jobs after writing the script was to go and coordinate the sex scenes. So I had to, because it was all B movies, sex and violence, and I actually had to go in a room with just me and two women and figure out what the sex scene was going to be. And I didn't really love it. And then as I've gotten older, I don't really love having to.
No.
I just I want this and this, and I don't know if this person's going to be comfortable with eating another woman's ass. I said to Jessica, can you go find out if anybody wants to do this? And then they're like, yeah, we'll do that. And so then when Steve comes up, he's
That's the first thing I see.
Yeah.
And it's shocking to see.
Yeah.
It is a little shocking.
Yeah.
And I wanted this moment in which, it was like this sort of fucked up moment where he's all messed up and everybody's having sex around him. So I had to go to the grip department and I said, I want to have, John Cena sitting in the middle, and then I want like a daisy wheel, a lazy Susan that moves around him with people fucking.
Yeah. It was shot great.
In various positions, and so that's what that is. That's John sitting in this thing, but then I'm like, you know what? I might want him to move too. So there's one circle that moves in one way in the middle, and another circle around the back that shoots, and that's what
great.
he's.
It was great.
And shout out to all those people who are so
Seriously.
comfortable doing that. That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
As an actor who is extraordinarily comfortable personally with doing, intimacy things and nudity and that sort of thing, I also know a lot of my friends are not. It's hard to find good quality actors who are very comfortable doing these sorts of things, and people who are just game to tell the story that you're telling, which is really important. And so, shout out to all
shout
those
out to the
people
Nudniks.
Yeah.
Nudniks.
We needed them.
Yeah.
Couldn't have told the story without
Without
them.
them.
Yeah.
No.
By the way, as an aside, I got to talk about John Cena and drugs. There's been no one that's known less about drugs that I've ever had to fucking deal with on a set in my entire life. And we had a bunch of crew members that were more than happy to mentor him and show him how to smoke weed, especially, which...
He didn't even know how to smoke weed?
Dude, he didn't know. Oh, my God. He didn't understand how a bong worked, right? He didn't understand that you had to pull the... He looked so terrible to me.
That's amazing.
But then you have him cutting lines and snorting and all that stuff, and he was like, oh, my God.
By the way,
John Cena's
I
real
find this
puritanical.
I find this very endearing. I can relate to it. I've never done any drugs in my
She's
life.
never had
I wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
John,
never had-
no ecstasy, nothing.
No ecstasy. That's the first thing you jump to?
I don't know.
As if it was like
Here,
the
take
easiest-
this.
Jen has never had a sip of alcohol in her entire life.
That's amazing.
That's true.
Awesome.
It's true. It's
So
not
you've
like
never done bufo.
What is that?
You smoked a toad, it's like 5-MeO-DMT.
Oh, Frank, we need to start a podcast.
you get to a certain point in your life and you're like, well, why would I do it now?
That's how I
made it
was with
through.
cocaine.
Yeah.
I never ever did cocaine. And at some point, like I turned 40, I'm like, I guess I'll never do cocaine, right? Because you don't want to do
why?
cocaine.
Because you already didn't do it.
40. So I never did
After
cocaine.
40, there's a strong cutoff. 39's fine.
39, you still could be a little goofy.
But
So anyway, in season 2 of Peacemaker, we see a few changes off the very beginning. And the biggest, of course, is at the very beginning, before the show even begins, previously in the DCU section,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
we changed something. Now,
The ending of
season
eight.
of episode 8, as we've talked about previously on this podcast, some things are canon in the DCU
Right.
and some things from season 1 are not canon. And one of the biggest things was the Justice League appear, and we cut them out of the show, at least for previously in the DCU, and we see the scene done again with Guy Gardner's character and Isabella Merced's character and Mr. Terrific and Superman and Supergirl.
Which makes sense because we have the Justice Gang.
And we have the Justice
Right.
Gang. There is no Justice League yet in this
Season
in
two.
this world.
Right.
Yet.
And the other thing you see is a scene that we actually cut from season 1.
One time I puked all over Green Lantern. I got seasick from flying on the green magic carpet. Weird thing is, he fucking liked it.
I thought it was funny at the time.
Yeah.
It actually goes on for a long time.
Yeah.
But they were like, you can't do that. And I said, okay, because it was something that I made him say on the day. It wasn't something scripted.
Screw that guy. You know he tells people I'm a puke freak?
And so then that makes sense why Guy Gardner's character doesn't like
like him.
Peacemaker.
Gotcha.
Lately, I've been coming to terms with the trauma I had as a kid.
Here we go.
Have the interview scene, which truly connects the characters of Superman and the characters of Peacemaker, and we see Maxwell Lord, who we just got a glimpse of in Superman, played by my brother Sean Gunn,
Right.
and Hawkgirl, played by Isabella Merced, and
Great.
and Nathan Fillion, my old pal, who's been in almost everything I've ever done, who plays Guy Gardner.
Excuse me.
This guy sucks.
Excuse me. This is gonna sound weird, but am I supposed to be able to hear you guys?
we start this second season in a very similar way that we started the first season. No matter what he does, no matter what he accomplishes, it doesn't matter that at the end of the last season, he saved the world. He still cannot get respect amongst his peers.
And they seem to we left in an okay position at the end of season 1. I mean, everybody was kind of halfway okay. I mean, Adebayo came out and outed her mother. Harcourt, you were recovering. Economos, you were back in Belle Reve in the basement, but you had your picture of your friends. Vigilante was being vigilante. But you see that John's character, Christopher Smith, is still haunted by his father. And now we go to the beginning of this show and we see there's another world in which his father is still alive and he's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the opposite
Father knows best.
of Robert.
By the way, Cena plays that really well. He really, not easy stuff to play.
It was
And
very touching.
yeah, he really does a subtle, nuanced performance with the inner emotions that he's dealing
Yes.
with, and it's really good to see. I mean, it's really impressive.
Yeah, in the scene where he's sitting with his father and his brother and they're having that conversation, John is doing this wonderful thing where he keeps like looking around, like he is partially there with them and partially he's like just keeps looking around at everything
Thing
and
that he
what
sees.
the
Yeah.
fuck am I?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm in a dream,
Yeah.
you know, like there's a layer between him and what he's experiencing. But at the end it hits him. And I think it's a moment that you went to me, oh, he touched his ear.
Yeah, he touched
And
his
it's
ear.
really that moment, which is, to me, was something Robert added on the day, which was incredibly touching to see because I think it's what Peacemaker has desired his entire life is some small amount of tenderness from his father. And his father does this most gentle, loving thing.
And it's such a paternal thing. Like I do that to my kids all the time. I grab their ears.
That's right. That's like that is like the kindest thing that is only. And it's only something a parent does to a son when they have a certain level of intimacy.
Yep.
And so to him, it just blows him away. And then we see Keith, who's his brother, who died in season 1, who's now alive and played wonderfully by my old friend David Denman.
Fantastic.
And he's got, it's like everything he would ever want. And it seems everything in this world is terrible. He can't get a break as a superhero. They're not accepting him. He's obviously in love with Emilia Harcourt. She's not having any of it. Something happened with them on the boat. We don't know what it is.
So we don't know.
Well, we don't know a lot of things. There's some things happened between them that we are not sure what it is. They're talking about the boat situation, and she's telling him, look, whatever happened on the boat, it's done.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't care.
He says it's good.
It's over.
He says he thinks it's good.
And she says, if that's what you want to think, it's fine. But it's also the end of it. We don't quite know yet still what's going on there.
I like that.
And Emilia is in a completely terrible space where she has, says very clearly in that wonderful scene with the psychiatrist who that guy's great. You were laughing. You were laughing your ass off during that scene. And she calls him the C word. She just breaks.
You do your best to maintain a hard appearance.
So my face? I'm getting some sort of a bullshit non-existent diagnosis based on my face? I'll give you a diagnosis based on your face. You're a fucking cunt.
She joined the CIA out of high school. And so that's been her entire life, has been in these intelligence agencies and the DEA and CIA and Argus. And now she has been blackballed, she believes, by Amanda Waller, and that she cannot get a job. And for somebody like that, that's like a baseball player who's done nothing his entire life but play baseball.
Not entirely dissimilar to what he's experiencing, kind of in a different way.
Yeah.
You can't do the thing.
He can't get the respect.
Right.
I think the interesting thing about Peacemaker is that he is known as this sort of ruthless mercenary killer, and he doesn't want to be a killer. He wants to be
a superhero.
Superhero, yeah.
He wants to save people. He wants to be a good guy.
Yes, he wants to be the guy that Superman is with kids coming up and jumping on him, and he's,
he can't do what he wants to do, and he thinks and then you can't do what you want to do.
That's
You're
right.
not capable of doing it.
And she's in a bad way. Like you see, if you look at the details of her apartment throughout the season, like she's sold her TV. She is in a bad way. Like she is desperate. So when she goes to the psychiatrist, she becomes exactly what he says of her. She becomes toxic masculinity and just loses her mind.
In one respect, he's not wrong. I mean, those aspects of the personality that people say are toxic masculinity are all things that Emilia Harcourt exhibits.
Exactly.
But she's trying. She has put on her best blazer, which is not a very good one. She's trying so hard to keep it together at the beginning, which you don't really see because you cut into the middle of the scene. But what's happening for me, for the characters, is she's like, okay, I'm a professional. I'm here to, get my job back and everything's going to be okay. And she tries to hold it together and she just loses grip, and becomes who she really is, and really what she's stuffing down, it just comes out.
Jesus, what happened to your hand?
Oh, nothing. I just beat up my dashboard a little bit.
That motherfucking thing had it coming.
The relationship between Emilia Harcourt and Peacemaker is very important to this season. One of the interesting things for me is I think if you look at season 1, you go, that would never work out. Because Harcourt's too cool and too together, and he's such a fucking buffoon. But you look at it this season, and you start to go, wait a second, he's changed a lot. I mean, even though we see him relapse, go with the drug thing and all that. He's like a more sensitive person. He's more in touch with his feelings. He is just a better person than he was. And we see a side of her that we didn't see first season about how fucked up she is.
Yeah, it's sort of like he starts to heal himself and she
gets worse.
Her wounds start to get the better of her. And so they're kind of going in opposite directions and they kind of meet in the middle in a way.
Exactly. They meet at the crossing as he's on the way up, she's on the way down. And now they're kind of at the same place. Water seeks its own level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, is that something that's going to happen? And they obviously are, friendlier than they used to be in a way because they've been hanging out. So what's going on there?
The only reason I came here is to ask about your interview.
What shit?
Great. There's my answer.
Yeah.
Great. Trip well worth it.
Bye.
Bye.
Harcourt is so pissed and so upset. And Adebayo is living in a much worse place than Harcourt. And she's like, why is this so bad? I've got my cards. My business is going to boom at any moment. She's just so positive and optimistic, the worst level of Grand Theft Auto.
Argus has been monitoring Peacemaker ever since Rick Flag Sr. was named director.
For people who don't know, Argus is the DCU organization that kind of is in charge of all metahuman activity in the United States. There's a fair amount of them, so it's an important position. Works directly under, as we learned in Superman, you work directly under the Secretary of Defense.
Right.
And are commensurate with the head of the FBI and the head of the CIA, et cetera.
It's a big job.
Rick Flag Sr. took over for Waller, and we haven't exactly learned all of what's happened there, but we do know that you're now the head of Argus.
Yeah, and kind of now in a position to all of the information that I wasn't able to get before concerning my son and the now I'm able to get this.
You know everything, and we will see more of that as the season goes on. We meet Sasha Bordeaux, where you're setting Economos out on Peacemaker, and Frank, you tell him to move it up to Argus Priority 1. What is that?
It's the most important thing on my agenda.
Right.
Is this guy, and he knows that, and he knows why.
Yeah.
And I think you do as well.
Yeah, that's the moment that I noticed.
And I don't make it a secret. I don't think I make it a secret with you either.
No, you don't care.
No.
I think that's the moment that he says to move it up to priority 1, I'm like, wait. And then I realize what's going on.
Because your reaction doesn't seem great there.
No.
Yeah.
No, because it's a personal thing that you're going through, and now we all have to...
Yeah, but I impose my will on them. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. I'm not really quiet about it.
No, you kind of do what you want. You're kind of shameless about things, but it's like in the same way that you don't really care about having this job.
Right, that's exactly
You don't care what other people think of you doing it.
Which is the greatest thing ever. It's a great way to be. It's a great thing to play.
It is.
Where you don't care about the consequences of anything except what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also... In the show, there's a second where there's a little bit of an attraction, maybe.
There's a moment where she takes your hips and she moves you aside.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's going on there?
Anytime a woman touches my hip.
That is a subtly, and it wasn't totally necessary.
Right.
She wanted to do it.
Yes, you moved my.
That is true.
And a tingle went up my spine. And
there's something else a little different about this season. And that is the dance sequence.
Which I love.
Yeah.
You loved, but your knees were so hurt. Remember how sore you were at the end of the day?
Yeah, I know. I'm not.
Or the end of the 2 days.
End of the
stage,
days.
first of all, the stage was very unforgiving. So we're stomping around and stuff a lot of the time. And it's hard on your joints.
I thought it was so funny that Frank Grillo.
No, I thought it was funny too. And in the beginning, I was like, fucking Gunn. I mean, what are you doing? I don't dance. What are you talking about? And then, but what was our dance instructor's name?
Carissa
She
Bart.
was awesome.
Yeah,
and she got me so, like, she lied to me and said I was good. And so I wanted to kind of please her.
She did lie to you, yeah.
She did lie.
You're better than some.
I know. I'm better than Tim Meadows. I'm better than Tim Meadows. Tim Meadows.
No, poor
yes,
Tim.
I am.
I think Carissa would have a different list, but for me, Rooker was not.
No,
He's not he worked hard at it.
Yeah,
he really worked hard. He was totally And he wasn't laughing at all. He was just totally serious.
So was Tim. Tim was serious.
You can see his brain.
see his wheels turning. He's like, "What's my?"
But that was Tim. Tim's the funny man, the comedian.
Yeah.
You know, and he was serious.
Concentrating.
Yeah.
However, Saul was not great for a dance champion who came in 42nd.
James!
But you came in 42nd out of 43.
Oh my God.
She goes to me, we're talking about the dancing, before she did it. And she was like, well, I did dance championships. I did flamenco, right?
You did?
Tango.
I did tango dance championships. I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, how did you do? And she's like, I came in 42nd. And I'm like, out of how many couples? And she said, 43.
Wow. James! He loves telling that story.
He loves telling other people's stories.
And then when I saw her dance, I saw why. No, I'm kidding. You're graceful.
Yeah.
I am.
What?
I had a blast. It was one of my favorite days.
It was
so
fun.
The whole cast together. Oh, it was
And
so
all in all,
It was
it
so
edited
fun.
together great.
It did cut together
I
great.
loved
Yeah.
it.
I have this really distinct memory of being on stage with everyone, and it was like around the time that it was about to be done. Like we were
towards the end.
done, and everyone got, not everyone, but a lot of people got kind of emotional.
Yeah.
And it was like it was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Yeah, I think it was like Freddie and
love that.
Danielle's last day or something.
We bonded pretty hard
Yeah.
during the dance intro.
And you should shout out Foxy Shazam for the new.
Foxy Shazam, basically they are the Peacemaker house band now.
Yeah.
They Foxy Shazam, wrote it's "Oh Lord," which is it was very hard for me to find a follow-up for first season. People are saying, "How are you going to beat season 1?" I'm like, "You're never going to beat season 1 because season 1 was like
Lightning
a
in a
sensation,
bottle.
and
Right.
nobody,
Yeah, no one
you didn't
saw
know
that
it was coming.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows it's coming,
And they
but-
talk about it. Like,
So
what's
I
the
needed
dance?
emotionally the right song that worked for the season. And "Oh Lord" is a beautiful song by one of my favorite bands. And so we got that. They also, Foxy Shazam also plays Dreamer, which is the song that plays over when he goes into the QUC before seeing his dad for the second time.
And meeting his
Brother.
his now grown brother, which was shocking for
he
him.
meets Keith, who's now alive and grown in another dimension. And I think in instantly you see in this season, there's so many differences from last season. It's more melancholy in a lot of ways. The people are defeated. There was always sort of that feeling there, but last season he had all of his demons uncovered. But now he has to face those demons and go through this season. But also, I think last season was sort of a mix of science fiction and horror, and this is a mix of science fiction and fantasy. It's about him dealing with the difficult life he has in this world, as we all do, and then this seemingly less difficult life in the other reality. And how would we deal with that if we could change our parents? If your dad could be the guy you want him to be,
Right.
is he your dad?
Really relatable themes. Really, I think people talk and have these conversations in real life.
Yeah.
And then we also have one of the best action sequences we've ever had.
I have to
Please.
say,
Let's
being
talk
a
about it.
veteran of action movies, I was blown away by you. I mean, and I knew it was
Thanks,
you
guys.
because your face is always on the screen. It's not a stunt, switcheroo.
We, of course, are talking about Harcourt's bar fight scene.
And it's rare that I see, and I don't mean this in any misogynistic way, it's rare that I see a woman who's fighting men and I believe that she's kicking the shit out of them. But you own that, man. I mean,
Thank you.
You make it look easy.
I think you've uncovered something about yourself that you need to kind of explore because you're amazing at that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Frank, seriously, coming from you, that it's one of the most amazing things that you could say to me. I'm a huge fan of yours, and you have, obviously so much experience in this particular field that we're talking about. I'm really excited for some of the things that James has coming up in the DCU, because I might get to see some women kicking ass,
And we got Supergirl coming out.
Yeah, exactly. I get really excited about that. But yeah, so the fight sequence is something that I really appreciate about James's writing, is that almost every time he's got a fight sequence in a movie, in a TV show, it's telling a story. It's part of the story that we're telling of the characters. And this isn't too dissimilar from something that Harcourt did in the first season.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're looking at it closely, you realize, oh, she was in a bar when
in episode one. She gets into a fight with a guy that. Why is she in that bar?
She's picking a fight. She's going into a bar. She's picking a fight. And in the way that I see the character is almost like she's a cutter. She's a masochist to some degree, and like she needs to feel something. She needs to feel control over her life, and so this is what she does. And James, along with Dave McComber, who did the fight choreography, and Hank Amos, who was our stunt coordinator, and Mike Wilson, who was doing all of the previs of all the fights so that they could create the fights sort of with the stunt doubles before we went and shot it, so we could see exactly what it looks like. They made sure that we're telling the story of the character. And I have to shout out Cece Ice, who was my stunt double. I would not have been able to do any of what I did if she had not spent as much time with me as she spent with me, making sure that I was, selling everything that I was doing. So it looked like I was really fucking up these huge dudes. And literally, every single one of those guys spent time with me, rehearsing with me, and they were. I love them so much.
Some of them you still see get killed quite a few times over this season. But yeah, I think the other thing that can't be undervalued is the emotion.
Right.
She picks a fight with this guy by obviously perturbing him. She starts to beat him up, and first you're like, at least me, I'm like, oh yeah, I love to see her kick ass. And you still kind of do like to see her kick ass. But there's that one moment where Jen grabs the guy's head and starts slamming it into the ground.
Vicious.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was shot beautifully, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. And there's something so heartbreaking about that moment, because that isn't coming from nowhere.
No,
that anger is deep-seated. That's pain.
That's therapy.
That anger that's not towards that guy. That's towards somebody else or something else. At the end, the best moment is the smile for me.
That connects it. So that connects all of the physicality to what is going on in your head. And you give that slightest little smirk, and it's like...
Yeah, she got what she wanted.
You got what you wanted.
Now, at the end of the show, we have an interesting, situation where Christopher Smith, still drunk, wanders off into the home after his brother and his father, his otherworld, dimensionally brother and father, have gone to sleep. He walks into a room that seems to be another Peacemaker's room, with posters on the wall of bands that are like the bands that he likes, but all are named just slightly different. So it's Hanoi Rocks, ROXX, as opposed to CKS.
A theme we'll see throughout season.
Scorpions with a Z, and Cruel Interventions.
Pour some honey on me, Def Leppard.
DEAF, leopard, the word leopard. And so he sees that, and then he sees a photo, which is of him and Emilia Harcourt, looking pretty happy together.
Yes.
Country.
And by the way, his brother had said to him, the one that you let go.
The one that you let go.
Right.
You fucked that one up.
Right.
And so then behind him comes Peacemaker 2, and we have a battle between the two of them. Peacemaker 2 seems like a pretty tough guy.
Yeah.
And he's about to kill him, which is a little bit of a harsh reaction, I guess. And Peacemaker 1 basically is defending himself. He's about to get killed. He hits the button on his chest, which is how he's seen his jetpack run, and he flies up into a spike on the roof and is presumably dead. We see him die in his arms.
Which is amazing.
Peacemaker was asking for a jetpack.
Yes, he was asking for a jetpack.
He's like, I want a jetpack.
In episode 1 of season 1, he was really excited about having a jetpack.
But you had made Jen had said something earlier about how well it was done with the two of them, with him in his arms. It was really it was seamless.
Hold on, man. Just, I don't know if you're a shapeshifter or what.
We planned it out so that we knew exactly what shots we were getting where and how, and shot everything twice with 2 Johns. One John twice.
Right.
And it ended up looking pretty. Yeah, it's pretty.
Not pretty. I mean,
focus
really,
rack between the two of them when you first see them is seamless.
Yeah, that's the easy stuff, frankly. Like,
really?
It's because the focus isn't real. So we do that in post.
Right.
And basically you just cut him out and put the other guy there. But some of the shots, some of the like when he's holding it in his arms and we have to put the one face on the other face.
Yeah.
That stuff that was pretty tough. And I also want to give a shout out in general to John Cena this season, because for me, he was one of the great surprises. I would say, you too. You got so much better this season.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So much more. Such a better actor this season.
Thank you.
But John has done a lot of acting between this season and last season. He had a lot of opportunities. He's probably acted more between this season and last season than he did before that.
Yeah.
And you see it in his performance that he's so much more vulnerable, so much more in touch with his emotions, so much more able to just go there. And in that scene when his brother walks out and he breaks down crying,
it's great. He's
beautiful.
He's really good.
One of my favorite scenes from this episode is when he meets his brother, who he killed.
Yeah.
And the subtleties in John's acting in that scene, just when he says Keith.
It's so touching.
It's so touching to me. I mean, it's really beautiful.
And the fact that he recognizes his brother immediately, even though he's fully grown, and he immediately recognizes him as brother, even though he looks nothing like the actor that played him as.
And now, Peace Thoughts. Welcome back to another edition of Peace Thoughts, where I share my unfiltered thoughts on moments throughout the series. There is nothing James Gunn can write that will surprise me anymore. I learned that when he made a supervillain out of a starfish. Or before that, when I said I would eat a beach full of dicks in the name of peace. So James has lost the element of surprise, but continues to keep the element of creativity, because episode 1 has a big orge fest in it. And I remember us talking, like, kind of feeling each other out on where we were. And I'm like, I'm thinking that, like, he's going to have me do unspeakables in the orgy, because quite honestly, if he were to ask me to do anything, that conversation would go directly to me and the wife, and I would beg for permission and forgiveness in the same conversation. So I'm thinking the worst. And then James is like, no, you just kind of have to be around the orgy because it's not satisfying you. Like, you're trying to do all the things, drugs, booze, escapes. You're trying all the escapism and none of it is working. And that's why you have to go to the next level of escapism. And boy, was that a load off somebody's chest. They had to teach me how to do a bong rip. Like, I'm like, hey, how do you use this thing? And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm like, no, I want to make it look like he smokes weed. How do you use this thing? And the prop people had to come over and be like, okay, this is how you do it. If you ever need another lesson, after hours, we're good. Snorting coke, that's a new for me. My uppers are in a coffee mug. So, snorting whatever the hell they had me snort, that was fun. It was like some meal. I know some places use B12. B12 sucks because it's actually good for the bloodstream, so it makes you red and flush. This was like a protein mix that was not harmful. It was just like, it would get a little residuey, but it wouldn't like flush your skin and make you all weird. But I think the biggest thing was people genuinely not thinking I knew my way around a bong and then realizing like I had no fucking clue what I was doing. That's it for this episode's Peace Thoughts. Back to you, James, Jen, and Steve. We now return to our regularly scheduled program.
I loved season 1 more than anything, but I think I like season 2 even more because
great.
season 1 was like this sort of horror plot that lined up at times with the emotion, but this plot is about the emotional connection of Peacemaker to everyone in his life. And with that said, song spotlight. I think we have some great songs this episode. Guest list by Hardcore Superstar. Blue Jeans by Silvertide, which plays over the fight scene. Outraged by Sister Sin. And of course, Don't You Ever Leave Me by Hanoi Rocks. But I think we got to go with Oh Lord for
Foxy
this first
Shazam.
Foxy Shazam, which we talked about.
Love it so much.
Foxy Shazam.
The one song we all had to listen to 10,000 times a day.
At home? No, I would be at home.
And I still love it.
And Eric is so sweet in person and so quiet.
Eric
and shy.
Nolly, yeah.
And then he transforms on stage to this like rock star.
Yeah.
I love to see that.
Eric came down from Cincinnati and he hung out with us.
So soft-spoken.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's such a quiet guy.
Sweet.
And when you see him on stage, Frank,
I've never-
he is not. He does not seem soft-spoken.
No.
He's so
a
brash and
rock
loud. And just you can't even imagine it's the same person as Eric in person. And Eric also wrote the Mighty Crabjoy's theme song with me, which is in Superman. And we've become really good friends since all of this. And he's just really truly just a great musician.
I love it.
So,
I love to hear that.
Okay.
Is it canon?
Well, everything's canon. We don't have to do Is It Canon anymore.
Oh, we don't?
It's over. That segment's done.
That's season 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
season 1 segment, Is It Canon, is over because everything is canon now.
Something I've always had to do with you on most projects is ask you if characters that you have introduced or even mentioned are from the comics.
Yes.
Imps.
CRISPR's rummaging around the Munchkin dimension 8 doors down.
They're not Munchkins, Dad. They're imps.
Are imps in the comic book?
No, imps are not in the comics. I mean, there's imps, but not. Yeah, they're I think of them as related to Mxyzptlk and Batman and stuff, but they're not. They're not. No.
Top Trio.
Top Trio is not in the comics. So when he first comes into the trophy room and he looks at all the stuff on the walls,
The awards and the plaques.
the awards you see coming up a lot is the Top Trio. There's a bunch of great Easter eggs in there that people can find that are related to the comics. And if you see that, I'm not sure the name of one of the Top Trio members is in there, but he's also kind of from the comics.
Right. Continuing with the tradition of our season 1 podcast episodes, we're going to be doing fan questions via Eagly's airmail. So here we go. These are from fans. Axel Talks Film asks, how are you able to change your style of directing and tone of writing when going from something like Peacemaker to Superman? Do you do anything different?
I don't do anything different, but I think every one of my projects is unique and has a unique voice, and so part of it is the audience that you're engaging with. So I always start with what is the basic feel or the basic visual imagery I associate with the project, and I kind of stick to that throughout.
The way that I view how you approach it sometimes is through music too. It's
I do.
You're looking for a specific feeling and you find music.
Yes, and the songs changed from this season to last season. I mean, there's a lot of the similarities because it's that rock and roll, sleaze rock stuff. But it was a little bit older music. It's more new music this time. It's a little bit more elevated versions of that music. So it's really a lot of my favorite bands, actually. Right. It's Foxy Shazam and Hardcore Superstar and Cruel Intentions and Hanoi Rocks and the bands I really, really love.
That's great.
All right. Kenazich asks, how many helmets were made? And were there any that didn't make the cut?
There's nothing that didn't make the cut with the helmets because we had 1 billion helmets all over the place in the Quantum Unfolding Chamber in season 1.
That's part of my question. He sees all those helmets.
Yeah.
All different designs. Do you knowingly know what each one of those does?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Watermelone 64 asks, who would win in a fight between Green Lantern and Peacemaker?
I mean, Peacemaker would get the shit beat out of him. I mean, he's Green Lantern could fight Superman.
I don't know.
That's true.
Green Lantern and Superman?
Yeah.
They could fight.
Green
Lantern's powerful.
He can create anything.
Those constructs are strong.
Where's Green Lantern from?
Cincinnati.
Right. Where's Superman from?
Krypton.
Yeah. Superman was born a superhero.
Yeah,
Wait, but we're talking about
if he doesn't have a ring, he'd be squelched.
That's all I'm saying.
He's got a
I
magic
don't wanna
fucking
fight.
ring.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to fight.
You know what I'm saying.
I want to fight.
I would like to see the two of you fight.
You're the person I want to fight.
Yeah.
You're the last person I'd fight here. First would be Steve, then Sol, then Jen, then you.
Mia01 asks, how does the quantum unfolding chamber work? Is it a path to travel the multiverse?
Well, I think we find out in this season, yes. Last season, we knew it was just a chamber that was, incredibly big that could hold all of this stuff. Now we find out, and you'll find out a lot more of it in upcoming episodes, that it travels to other dimensions. Right. So there are other dimensions that all use this quantum unfolding chamber. Right. As you walk through with Peacemaker, you see different people have their weapons. We meet his neighbor who, is burning, a little rat thing, which I have in my office right now. I'll show it. It's so gross. There's a bunch of them. And that's basically what he uses it for, is incineration of vermin.
That's all the questions we have today.
Did you guys have fun?
I did.
Yes.
So do I come back every week?
If you want to, you're invited back.
I just got to pencil in the date.
You're invited back anytime. It's like, man, it's really, honestly, so great to see both of you guys.
Oh, it's great to see you guys.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been
so
too
great.
long.
It's amazing how this show brings people together. Like, I really feel like we've met so many people through this show, and there's just something very
magical.
Yeah, it's a little magical.
It's a little
really
magical.
cool. I don't know. It's just brought us close to so many amazing people. We're so lucky to have met you guys.
So true. It's a really good vibe with the show and with the people involved. So.
And I'm just saying, having been on other shows, that's not typical.
What shows, Frank?
No, I mean, why even bring that in? But I'm just saying, this is a...
No, it truly was a great experience. Everyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, it was really, and you don't always get that, jokes aside, but it was a great experience. And I think it starts from the top.
It's also exciting when you get these scripts and see all these new characters, and then you start learning who they're casting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is going to be so fucking fun.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it for the episode. In the next episode, we'll be talking about season 2, episode 2, titled "A Man is Only as Good as His Bird." And we're going to find out what that's about. Stream new episodes of Peacemaker Thursdays on HBO Max and listen to these podcast episodes right after. You can find us on HBO Max YouTube channel, and wherever you get your podcasts. This has been a DC Studios Showcase presentation.
This was an OBB sound production for HBO Max and DC Studios, hosted by James Gunn, with co-host Jennifer Holland and me, Steve Agee. Executive producers for DC Studios are Phil Sopanides and Gary Barbosa. Executive producer for HBO Max is Becky Rowe. Executive producers for OBB are Michael D. Ratner, Scott Ratner, and Toby Lawless. Special thanks to, from DC, Mike Pilata and Victor Diaz. And from HBO Max Design, Tom Haskard, Martha Duarte Diaz, Ryan Cronin, Brett Krause, and John Northway. Producer, Toby Lawless. Producer for HBO Max is Aaron Kelly. Research producer, Jesse Holland. Associate producer, Tess Bartholomew. Associate producer, Chris Stitt. Production manager, Kevin Lynn. Studio coordinator, Elijah Matias. Director of photography, Heath Gresham. First assistant camera and camera operator, Chris Piper. Gaffer, Arthur Garcia. Key grip, Jake Reeder. Sound mixer, Josh Falcon. Sound mixer, Darren Bowling. Post-production supervisor, Mariana Cristostomo. Lead editor, Jesse Holland. Editor, Louis Sinibaldi. Assistant editor, Mark Alcacid. Hair and makeup artist, Kendall Shannon. Director of Creative Development and Social Strategy, Lenore Castro. Senior Coordinator, Creative Development and Social Strategy, Sharif Bakari. Production Assistant, Antonio Cavallo.
I can't believe beans haven't
come up. Have you simmered down with the beans a little?
Not the beans.
Simmered down with the... So Frank tells me that beans are poison, and I eat lima beans every day for lunch.
Wait, James Gunn eats lima beans every day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
To be clear, everyone, James, when he's on set,
Yeah.
he just eats the same thing for lunch every single day. It's
Okay,
a discipline.
It's salmon.
It's a discipline.
Salmon and
No,
lemon.
no, it's not bad, not bad, not bad.
This
Do you
is-
soak his beans?